Simon Cowell's hand was hovering over the X. It was 9 p.m. This was the fourth day of auditions in Pasadena. The studio audience was tired, the crew was tired, and Simon Cowell, was bored. He was bored in a way that only a man who has seen 10,000 people sing Hallelujah off-key can be bored. This wasn't judging anymore. This was an endurance test. His job, as he saw it, wasn't to find talent, it was to manage disappointment. But what he was about to witness wasn't a performance. It wasn't a disappointment. It was a revelation, and it would shatter every rule of the show he had built. The cameras kept rolling, the judges were ready, the X's were waiting. But what happened next, what was whispered into the silence, would change Simon Cowell forever. This is the story of Frank Peterson and the song he couldn't remember. Let's go back. The day had been a blur of absolute mediocrity. A dance troupe that moved like they had different choreographers, a comedian who told jokes so old they had dust on them, a 19-year-old girl who swore she was the next Taylor Swift and proceeded to sing so flat that Simon had buzzed her in the first 10 seconds just to make it stop. "This is painful," Simon muttered to Howie Mandel, rubbing the bridge of his nose. "I mean, genuinely, physically painful." Howie just shrugged. "It's a numbers game, Simon. You gotta kiss a lot of frogs." "I'm not kissing them, Howie. I'm just watching them croak." He leaned back, his black t-shirt and blazer, his unofficial uniform, his face a mask of practiced, cynical indifference. He was a king on his throne waiting for the next court jester to entertain him or be executed. "Next contestant," the stage manager's voice boomed. The giant LED doors slid open, and a man walked out. He wasn't a kid with stars in his eyes. He wasn't a glamorous woman in a sequin dress. He was just a man. His name was Frank Peterson, 62 years old. He had a kind, deeply wrinkled face, a shock of silver hair, and he was wearing a suit that was perhaps 20 years out of style. It was clean, it was pressed, but it was old. It was the kind of suit you wear to weddings and funerals. He walked with a nervous energy, his hands clasped in front of him, and made his way not to the center X, but directly to the grand piano waiting on the side of the stage. Simon Cowell sighed. A deep, theatrical, "I am so done with this day" sigh. "Oh, God," a piano man, his internal monologue began. "Here it comes, the original song. It's going to be for his wife, or his cat. It's going to be cheesy, it's going to be badly written, and I'm going to have to X a sweet old man and the audience is going to boo me. I hate this. I truly hate this." Frank sat on the piano bench. It squeaked. The sound echoed in the massive, quiet hall. He meticulously wiped his trembling palms on the knees of his trousers. Sofia Vergara leaned forward, her voice full of warmth. "Hello. What is your name?" "Hello, judges. My name is Frank Peterson. I'm from Bakersfield." His voice was soft, but it carried. "And what are you going to do for us today, Frank?" Heidi Klum asked, smiling. Frank took a deep breath. He looked at the piano keys, not at the judges. I'm going to play an original composition, a song I wrote." Simon almost buzzed him right there. Called it. "And who is this song for, Frank?" Simon asked, his voice flat, already bored. Frank looked up, and his eyes met Simon's. They were kind eyes, but they were haunted. There was a deep, profound sadness in them. "It's for my wife, Clara. We've been married 41 years. "Called it," Simon thought again, slumping lower in his chair. He motioned with his hand. "All right, Frank, let's get this over with." Frank nodded. He placed his fingers on the keys. He closed his eyes. He began to play. And Simon Cowell sat up. The melody, it wasn't cheesy. It wasn't bad. It was beautiful. It wasn't complex like a classical piece. It was simple, but it was filled with a lifetime of emotion. It was a melody that spoke of quiet Sunday mornings, of hands held in the dark, of a deep, abiding, known love. The entire audience was silent. The crew was silent. Even Simon Cowell. This was unexpected. The melody built to the verse. Frank took a breath. He opened his mouth to sing, and nothing. He stopped playing. His hands fell from the keys. "I'm sorry," he whispered into the microphone. "I'm so sorry. 1 second. Just 1 second." The audience gave him a polite, nervous clap. "It's okay," someone shouted. Howie smiled. "Take your time, Frank. No rush." Frank nodded, his face flushing red. He wiped his palms on his trousers again. He squeezed his eyes shut. He took 3 huge, shuddering breaths. Okay, I'm ready." He placed his fingers on the keys. He started the melody again. Just as beautiful, just as powerful. The audience relaxed. Okay, he just had a false start. He got to the verse. He took a breath. He sang. The way you looked. The night we... He stopped. His fingers, they just stopped. He stared at the keys. He knew the melody. But the next chord, it was gone. The next word, it had vanished. His face, which had been red with embarrassment, now went pale, a ghostly, terrifying white. This wasn't nerves. This was panic. I don't, he stammered. I know this song. I know this. He tried to find the chord. He hit a wrong note. A dissonant, ugly clang echoed through the theater. It was over. The magic was gone. The audience wasn't clapping anymore. They were cringing. This was a train wreck. A man, live on stage, falling apart. Howie Mandel's hand went straight to his axe. This was painful to watch. It was cruel to let it continue. "Frank, I'm sorry." "Wait!" Simon's voice. A sharp, loud command. Howie's hand froze. Frank, at the piano, was now openly weeping. He wasn't loud, just silent, hot tears streaming down his face, dripping onto the pristine white keys. He had his head bowed, his shoulders shaking. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm broken. I'm sorry. The audition was dead. It was a failure." And then Frank did something strange. His hands, still shaking, rose back to the piano, and he began to play. But it wasn't the beautiful, complex original song. It was "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star." He played it simply, like a child. The audience was confused. A few people let out a nervous laugh. Was this a joke? Was this part of the act? A breakdown? Howie Mandel and Sophia looked at each other. What is happening? Simon Cowell didn't laugh. He didn't move. He just watched. His eyes narrowed. He was no longer a judge. He was a detective. He was trying to solve a puzzle. The man had failed his audition. The Zygarnik effect was in full force. The story was incomplete. Why? Why did he fail? And why was he playing a nursery rhyme?